Well, my friends, welcome back to Spot On with Link. Lauren, I made it home. I got my suitcases. We're going to talk about horrific travel stories later on in the show and how just terrible it is now to get on an airplane, even to get in a car and get on the road. It is tough these days. We also have to talk about Prince Harry, Meghan Markle. Is Meghan Markle trying to upstage Princess Catherine's Christmas concert? These are very, very serious matters we need to discuss. We're also going to be talking about Joy Reid. You might remember her from MSNBC. She's making more racist, bizarre comments. We also have an update. Do you guys remember? You guys remember those rich folks who went down to see the Titanic in that Ocean Gate submersible? Well, people might be trying to do that again. Not something I would ever be signing up for, but we got to pay some bills. After we pay some bills, come back because we have some hot topics. Let me tell you about masa chips. Okay, I don't do regular tortilla chips at this point. I can't do it. Whenever we have friends come over, these are the chips that we use. And I've also converted all of my friends to masa chips because they ship me boxes and boxes with 1,000 bags of chips, and I hand them out like candy on Halloween. But all of my friends, they say we love masa chips. We don't feel guilty eating them. They don't break in our guacamole. And let me tell you why masa chips is so great. Because masa chips, they're made with just 3 ingredients: organic corn, sea salt, and 100% grass-fed beef tallow. That's it. No seed oils, no junk. Masa is what chips should be. So go try them and you will taste the difference. Masa chips is also beloved by tens of thousands of customers and has been endorsed by industry-leading health and nutrition experts. Ready to give masa a try? Go to masachips.com/link and use code LINK for 25% off your first order. That's masachips.com/link and code LINK, L-I-N-K, for 25% off your first order. Go get them. Well, here on this Wednesday, happy hump day, everybody. I hope you have a little hump day treat. Get yourself a drink, settle in, get cozy. This is Coke Zero for everybody who's asking because I'm a teetotaler, okay? But get yourself a little hump day treat, nestle in, because we have to discuss a universal topic and issue today, and that is travel. We have all had a horrific travel experience at some point this summer, okay? You guys know me. As summer comes to an end, we've all had to go either see a family member or travel for work. I don't have that joie de vivre, that lust for life to travel. If I had it my way, I would stay at home, okay? I don't like to leave the house. I go out in the driveway and I walk around on the phone. I might go touch some grass here and there, but I don't have this lust for life like some of these folks who want to just go backpack through Europe for 6 months, or they want to go here and go there. I don't want to do it. Okay, I don't want to deal with the airports. I don't want to deal with the chaos. And as some of you know from the last episode, I was stuck in Chicago for 3 days, okay? One flight canceled, then another flight canceled, then delayed, and then that was booked, and then my bags ended up in Timbuktu. Okay, I finally got home last night. I went to baggage services. I had to beg and plead for them to go find my luggage so I would have something to wear this morning. Okay, and she goes back there where there are just cages full of luggage. It's like where they used to keep kids down at the border during the Obama administration. It looked like alligator Alcatraz, actually. It's like they have these huge cages, and that's where the suitcases were. For me, I finally got my bags back. And then because it's hard to get Ubers where I live, I had scheduled a car. The car forgot to pick me up, so everything that could go wrong went wrong. Okay, it took me 3 days to get home from Chicago. I could have just rented a car. And some of you have been writing me with your horrific travel stories. Please comment. If you're watching us on YouTube, social media, comment and write in. Tell me your worst travel experience, because last night I'm on the plane. I'm finally coming home. I felt like Les Mis, bring him home. That was me, okay? He's like the son I might have known. I was fighting for my life, okay? So I'm on this plane, and the woman next to me, she moves to the aisle because there's an empty seat in the middle. I don't know what happened to that man. Maybe he got upgraded. I'm jealous. This woman moves to the aisle, and I hear this kind of clinking. And she's messing with her sandals. And I said, oh, she's not going to do what I think she's going to do. We have a picture. I did sneak a picture with my phone. This woman puts her bare ass feet on the dirty carpet on a United Airlines flight. I actually am looking at the picture now. I don't know what's more of a calamity, the bare feet on a dirty airplane carpet or those leggings. Those leggings are diabolical. Diabolical. Those should be burned, okay, in the 7th ring of hell. But this woman, she has her bare feet out. She then puts them up on the seat. She must be into like yoga and really be nimble because she's doing like crisscross applesauce on the seat while we're taking off. This woman, I don't want to see bare feet. on planes. Okay, I don't want to be back here with the bare feet. And I'm here to tell you, this is how fast life comes at you, okay? A few weeks ago, I'm flying on Air Force One. I'm having an egg sandwich and yogurt parfait. A few weeks later, I'm in the back of economy on United with bare, dirty ass feet. Okay, so life can come at you fast, my friends. Life can come at you fast, okay? I'm versatile, okay? I can handle it all. So I'm back there in United with this woman in her bare feet. And I said, we have to rework the show and just have a discussion off the top. We're going to get into some pop culture soon, but we have to talk about horrific travel stories. And I was thinking, you know, my parents always talk about traveling back in the day. Okay, my parents are a little older than you would assume. They always tell me about traveling back in the day. And I said, let's go find some pictures of traveling back in the 60s and the 70s where people got dressed up to fly, right? When you could actually smoke on airplanes. You could go and have a smoking section on an airplane. They would actually serve baked Alaska on an airplane and light it on fire. You would have fire on planes. What has happened? Can I go back in a time machine and fly when it was nice, when people were courteous and kind? Now you get on an airplane, you're lucky if you get a bag of pretzels. Okay, you're trying not to get a venereal disease from the dirty seat that hasn't been cleaned since 2006. That's what's happening when you're flying on these planes, okay? And then because 10% of the population is crazy, literally insane, 10% of the population is insane, you have some crazy people on planes. I've been on planes where people are freaking out. They don't want to sit down. They're aggressive. They need to get to the front. I don't know what's happening. Every couple of weeks I look on the news, someone has to be duct taped to a seat. They literally had to duct tape a woman to a seat recently because she was flipping out. They had her tied up like something out of 50 Shades of Grey, tied, bound, and gagged at 30,000 feet. Okay, because she was having a meltdown on the flight. They had to go get the flight marshal. So flying absolutely sucks. I don't know what has happened to travel. I don't blame the federal government at all. Actually, it's these airlines that are terrible. These airlines, they either overbook, they're understaffed, they can't take care of themselves, or they don't have the best people working there. I hate to say it. So no, air travel is absolutely terrible. I'm sure you guys have experienced this. And then my brother's one of these people. He will drive his pickup truck. He will drive his pickup truck across the country instead of flying. If it's 20 hours, 36 hours, he will drive there. And I used to think he was crazy. I was like, just get on a plane. Now, when you deal with security and cancellations and then your bags get shipped off to God knows where and you have to fight and barter to get them back, I think I might start driving. I think I might start driving across the country because if it's 12 hours, 18 hours, why deal with security and flights and expose yourself to a bunch of germs and dirtiness? And I love this country. I love the people of this country more than anything. But do I need to be stuck with them in a flying trash can for hours and hours with their bare feet several inches from me? No, I do not. But travel by sea, travel by sea is also not much better. There have been many viral videos this summer from Carnival cruises and all of these cruise ships where things get a little bit dicey. And these cruises, we're going to put up on the screen. This is my idea of hell. Okay, number one, I don't want to be around that many people in general. As you guys know, I like to be alone most of the time, okay? These cruise ships, this is hell. I don't know if someone catches a cold on this cruise, does the whole ship go down? What happens if there's, some type of intestinal worm in the water supply? Does everybody get sick? I would never go on one of these cruises. But I have to show you a viral video from a Carnival cruise recently of a fight that broke out. Let's play that clip. Now, this is a fight that broke out. Wait for it. Dun, 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 dun. This is a fight that broke out over chicken tenders. Okay, this is a fight that broke out over chicken tenders. And as soon as I found that out, I was kind of on their side. I love my chicken tenders. Okay, I might be at a fancy restaurant. I might be at a fancy hotel. I'm like, can I get chicken tenders and fries with ranch dressing from the kids menu? And they're like, sir, you have to be 12 and under. Excuse me, if people can make up their genders and make up all types of pronouns, I can identify as a kids menu participant for this meal. Go get me my damn chicken tenders. So when I saw this fight breaking out over chicken tenders, on our Carnival cruise, I wasn't shocked, but there were so many comments where people said, this is ghetto, this is trashy, this is this. They're making racial comments. I'm here to tell you, There are white people who are just as white trash. Okay, I have seen ladies on a Black Friday sale get into a fist fight at Bed Bath & Beyond over some throw pillows. Okay, so this has nothing to do with race. You can say, oh, black people freaking out over a Carnival cruise fighting over chicken tenders. I have seen suburban white women key each other's cars over Lululemon leggings. Okay, so this does not discriminate, okay? Tribal fights and behavior, this does not discriminate, I'm here to tell you. But this is not selling me on Carnival Cruises, okay? Carnival Cruise, don't try to sponsor this show. We have great sponsors, Masa Chips, thank you. We have all types of sponsors. Carnival Cruise, we don't need your money because I would rather rot in hell, okay, than ever go on a Carnival Cruise. I'm here to tell you that. I would rather go down on a piece of sandpaper than spend a week on a Carnival Cruise with 10,000 people. No disrespect to anybody, but I think at this point they're overbooking things. Things are getting way too crazy. My producer also found a headline. I want to read you this headline because not only is travel chaotic and you're exposed to a million people, it's dangerous. It can get dangerous. So let me read you this headline. Boeing plane makes emergency landing after engine bursts into flames. Someone said, I already sent goodbye text. I'm here to tell you. I was in the exit row yesterday. When we had those bare feet, I was in the exit row and I actually sat down in the exit row on the window and I thought, I've seen so many exit doors fly off of planes. Please, I just want to go home because I was like, you know what? It's taken me days to get home. Everything that could go wrong went wrong, you guys. Like literally, I am fighting for my life this morning, even filming the show. I'm running on fumes, okay? I've been through the ringer. It's like the Hunger Games that I've been through to get home, okay? From Chicago, of all places, connecting through Chicago. So when I sat down in the exit row, I thought, can this door please stay on for the duration of the flight? I am begging you, dear God in heaven, any goodwill that I have left, please. Okay, I know I'm a sinner at times, okay? I have a potty mouth at times. Please, can this door not fall off? But all in all, in conclusion, air travel absolutely sucks. Traveling by sea sucks. I think I'm just going to start staying home and becoming a hermit. And I'll also say, anytime I leave America, okay, I've studied abroad in London. I've traveled to Australia, New Zealand. I'm very blessed to have traveled. Every time I leave America, all I want to do is come home, okay? All I want to do is come home. Leaving the country has radicalized me, okay? Leaving the country has radicalized me. You travel now. This is a non sequitur. You travel now, you sit down in a restaurant, no one takes your order. You have to order on a QR code. We might get into that in a little bit of a later episode. You have to place your order on a QR code, nothing works, and then they want you to give them like a 30% tip. Nobody spoke to me. A freaking robot put my croissant on a plate and handed it to me. Okay, so I'm not going to give you a 30% tip if you're making me order on a QR code while all of you jackasses are standing around. But I digress. Air travel sucks. Everything is terrible, but please comment and tell me your horrific travel stories. You can write on YouTube. You can find me on X, TikTok, Instagram. Comment and write to me with your horrible travel stories, and we will read them on the show. My little linksters, my linkies. I don't know. People are starting to you guys are starting to give yourselves like little nicknames. I don't know how I feel about the nicknames because I'm a grown-ass man. I don't know if I need to call you guys like linkettes or linksters or whatever. I don't know what I'm going to call you, but I can't wait to read your horrific travel stories. And speaking of something else that's horrific, Meghan Markle is trying to upstage Princess Katherine. She's trying to upstage Princess Catherine's annual carol concert. Okay, how dare you, Meghan Markle? How dare you? We should stone Meghan Markle in the streets, you wench. Let me read you a little bit about what's going on. This is from Radar Online. Now, Radar Online, it is a very reputable source, okay? Meghan Markle has been accused of hijacking Christmas by trolls online, and people are not happy. Royal expert Hugo Vickers blasted the move. It's always said that whenever Catherine, the Princess of Wales, starts something, Meghan Markle does something else to cap it or in some ways clash with it. This is true. Okay, Meghan Markle, she's copied Princess Diana's outfit, her fragrances allegedly. She copied her mannerisms. She's copied Catherine's outfits. She's studied the royal family. I don't blame the girl. I really don't blame the girl. But she was trying to hustle and hustle and hustle because number one, menopause was creeping up. Okay, she's not a spring chicken. Menopause was creeping in. She was trying to bag Prince Harry. So she was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to become his mom. I'm going to wear her fragrance and her clothes and her outfits. I'm going to become his mom. And I'm also going to rip off Catherine. Okay, so Meghan Markle's upcoming Christmas special is expected to directly coincide with Kate's Together at Christmas concert at Westminster Abbey. The Princess of Wales annual event is widely celebrated for showcasing charity work and supporting those in need. Now, for those of you who don't know, Meghan Markle, she's sort of been dropped by Netflix. It's like, we're phasing you out. It's like when your boss in HR doesn't want to fire you. I've never been fired, but I imagine it's like this. We're not firing you or letting you go, but we're phasing you out, bitch, because you get no ratings. So that's Meghan Markle. Netflix has decided they're not going to be doing much more with her. They're going to air season two of her Netflix show. Most of it is pre-recorded footage. And then they're going to give her a Christmas special. And I feel like that's kind of the end of Meghan Markle and Netflix. And it'll be interesting to see for Meghan Markle's Christmas special, which of course she is imagining will compete with Catherine's. Are we going to see Oprah, Tyler Perry, Gayle, Beyonce, any of these famous friends? All of her famous, ultra famous friends have dropped her. They don't want anything to do with Meghan Markle because she is radioactive. So shout out to Princess Catherine. I love the holidays. I love festivities. I love singing Christmas carols. Okay, as a recovering theater kid, hark how the bells, sweet silver bells. We can't afford the copyright, but I love Christmas, love it all. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with this. But no, Meghan Markle is always trying to sort of copycat the royals, steal from them, hijack their plans and ideas, but nobody can compete with the Princess of Wales. Now, this next royal story is one that I've been tracking for years because I can tell Prince William does not trust Meghan Markle. Why would you trust a woman who has shanked your family time and time again? Who, when Queen Elizabeth II, the Queen, was dying, may she rest in peace, Meghan Markle was kicking up dirt. Okay, she was kicking up dirt, accusing them of racism, talking about her kid's skin color, all of this with no evidence whatsoever. She said she tried to go get treatment and they took her passport, allegedly. She couldn't travel, but then she was having her baby shower, bachelorette, whatever party in New York, which lo and behold, you might need a passport to travel. So none of Meghan Markle's stories add up. I understand why Prince William might not trust her, but there's a new story out confirming this. So let me read you a little bit about what's going on. So, Meghan Markle is considered to be a major factor in the ongoing feud between Prince William and Prince Harry. The claim was made by Ingrid Seward, editor-in-chief of Majesty magazine and author of My Mother and I. She claimed to Fox News Digital that William is aware of how supporters of the monarchy in the UK feel about Meghan. It's not just folks in the UK, it's folks all around the globe. It's folks like me sitting here running my mouth on this show, okay? I don't trust her either. I wouldn't trust Meghan Markle to frickin' change a tire. I don't trust the woman. She probably cut the brakes if it was my car. So the flea in the ointment, ooh, very vivid. The flea in the ointment really is very much Meghan, Seward claims to Fox News Digital. She's disliked intensely by a large number of the monarchists of this country. They see her as being very damaging to the royal family. And also, I think a lot of people in America feel the same. They don't like that Meghan reportedly dissed her husband's family and dissed her own family. It's just extraordinary to think that her children have not met their grandfather. I couldn't agree more, okay? I couldn't agree more. Could not agree frickin' more. She has the audacity. This is why I don't trust Meghan Markle and why I think she's a slithering little snake from the depths of hell. Meghan Markle, okay, she has the second daughter, allegedly. We don't know if she carried her, if it was surrogate, yada, yada, yada. She has this daughter. The daughter has never been in the UK. Meghan has trashed her in-laws in the royal family. They've absconded to California to live in a McMansion in Montecito. Meghan Markle names the daughter Lilibet Diana. Why the hell are you naming her number one Lilibet, the Queen's nickname that only close people would call her? Okay, so you've now named this girl Lilibet after making the Queen's life miserable after she embraced you as one of her own. So you name her Lilibet and then Diana, okay? This is a crazy woman, okay? Meghan Markle naming Lilibet Diana. That is nuts, okay? That is crazy. It's like having a one-night stand with Michael Jackson and then naming the kid Michael Jackson. It's like really a little too on the nose to be like Lilibet Diana, okay? So Meghan Markle, you're insane. You're nuts. I don't think there's any need for you to reconcile or even try to reconcile with Prince William because there's no need for you to come back to the UK. You're down in the line of succession. Prince Harry can sit over in California doing his psychedelics and his mushrooms, allegedly, and we don't need you. Prince William is going to be King of England. When you have that responsibility, you can't take risks. You can't take risks and let someone into your life again like Meghan Markle, who has a track record of being a snake. It's like we all have that friend, to be universal. We all have a friend. I call them high stakes friends or high risk friends, right? I had this one friend, whenever we would hang out, he would like flip out in a restaurant or he'd get mad over something. Or I remember we were walking out of a hotel and a woman bumped into my friend with her purse, and he goes, watch out. Oh my God, he just hit me with the purse. Like, we have friends who are high stakes friends who you really are nervous to go out with, to hang out with. They're a little kooky, and you have to just excommunicate them and cut them from your life. And Prince William, when you're on the world stage, you're going to be king of England and king of a Commonwealth with about 2 billion people, a very diverse population at a polarizing time. You can't take risks. You can't let Meghan Markle come back in. And why would you trust Harry and Meghan anyway? Because every time you have a conversation with them in private, it ends up in a docuseries on Netflix, or it ends up in a book, or it ends up leaked to, Omid Scobie and all these losers allegedly, or People magazine. Why would you trust these people? Why would you trust Harry and Meghan? Harry even put a fight he had with his brother in Spare. I have an older brother. We've gotten into fights, not in years, but we've gotten into fights before. Would I come on here and tell you about interpersonal issues going on in my family? No, I could be at war. I could be at war with my brother. I would not come on here and trash my family for profit to make money. And so for Prince Harry and Meghan to do that, it's why they're such disgusting little cretins, and why no one should ever trust them, and why they have no need to go back to the UK. But we got to pay some more bills. And after we pay some bills, we have some more hot topics. We're moving on from the royals. Okay, so go do a bathroom break and then come back. I don't know about you, but after I travel, my skin is dry. That's when Peak's Radiant Skin Duo came to the rescue. This doctor-recommended duo, trusted by experts like Dr. Mark Hyman, Dr. Jason Fung, and Dr. Will Cole, supports whole body wellness from the inside out. Sun Goddess Matcha provides steady, calm energy throughout the day, packed with L-theanine for focus and EGCG antioxidants. It supports skin clarity and gut health. BT Fountain electrolytes hydrate like nothing else and help lock moisture into the skin, making it look amazing. And Peak ensures all ingredients are free from heavy metals, pesticides, and mold. We don't want mold. If you need more hydration, then give Peak a try. Get 20% off plus a free frother and glass beaker here. peaklife.com/link. Again, that's peaklife.com/link. Now, as we spoke in the last episode of Spot On, MSNBC has decided to rebrand to MS Now. Okay, some people are calling it PMS Now, EMS Now. I don't know. Maddow sucks now. Maybe that's what the MS stands for. But MSNBC has decided, after paying these consultants bukus of cash, that they're going to be called MS Now, and they're going to do news and opinions. And I'm glad they're admitting that they're an opinion source, because MSNBC basically lies to the American people every day and gaslights them, and it's why their ratings are in the gutter. Their ratings are in the gutter. Before we know it, they're probably going to hire Meghan Markle to work on MSNBC. That could be her next career path. But MSNBC, one good thing they did, one smart move MSNBC made a few months ago, I believe back in February, is that they fired Joy Reid. Now, Joy Reid, you might remember her. She's sort of my doppelganger. Okay, Joy Reid, I'm just going to say one thing. She has been trying to steal my hairstyle for years. Okay, Joy Reid, she can say that she hates me and she hates conservatives and anybody who's right of center, anyone who's not a liberal, and we're tearing down the country. Why does she keep dyeing her hair platinum blonde? Okay, bitch, you've been stealing my hairstyle for years, and I have a bone to pick with you, Joy Reid. So Joy Reid, she's gone viral over the weekend. She's trying to scrape and scrounge up a career in alternative media, and it's not going well, because folks who are used to having massive crews and working on sets on a television soundstage, they have a hard time transitioning into independent media because it's not where they came from. They don't know how to just sit and do things on their own or with one or two people helping them, right? Someone like me and a lot of influencers, we don't have a hard time transitioning up and growing in our careers because we've always done the stuff by ourselves. We film with our phones. We sit and we talk and we rant, and we know how to build that community online. Joy Reid, she's really struggling because she was used to having the infrastructure of MSNBC. She's also struggling because she has no talent and she sucks. So let me play you this first clip that has gone viral, and it's about how white people don't invent things.
They can't fix the history they did. Their ancestors made this country into a slave hell. But they can clean it up now because they got the Smithsonian. They can get rid of all the slavery stuff. They got PragerU. They can lie about the history to the children. They can't originally invent anything more than they ever were able to invent good music. We black folk gave y'all country music, hip hop, R&B, jazz, rock and roll. They couldn't even invent that, but they have to call a white man the king.
So number one, I welcome everyone on my page, okay? From the left, the right, the middle, all across the political spectrum, black, white, Asian, Indian, Hispanic, you name it. But we have to admit factually, some of the most major inventions of our time have come from white people. That is just a fact. And I don't think it even helps Black people to do this divisive rhetoric, right? Like, we should be trying to reach across the aisles or find common ground or get together as a country and see what we can do to fix these 21st century issues. Someone like Joy Reid, all she knows is division, 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 and divisiveness, and talking about race and skin color. And it's why people don't want to watch her. And I'm going to say something that's just honest and true, whether we want to admit it or not. It's not going to get you big ratings, hearkening back to things that happened a long time ago, okay? You keep wanting to bring up slavery. Every day, Joy Reid wants to talk about slavery. I'm here to tell you, Black people don't want to tune in even to watch you talk about slavery. I know, because they've been DMing me and telling me how much they hate you, Joy Reid. Why do they want to tune in and watch a woman talk about slavery every day? She keeps going on and on and on. Why don't you cover the news that's actually happening in this world? Why is it everything, oh, white people's fault, white people did this? You know what, Joy Reid? A white person at MSNBC signed your checks, and it's your racist rhetoric that got you fired. It's why people turned you off, okay? You can hate white people all you want. White people ran your network, okay? And so now you're out of a job. Let's go to this other clip, right? This is about the fragility of white men and how it's destroying America. This is also with Joy Reid. Let's look.
The question is, we're going to talk about how this is happening in real time and how this has always happened, how the fragility of a mediocre, terrified white men is destroying America, and how they have to make a level playing field for themselves. And it's all projection all the time. Like I just said right now, safe spaces for them, none for us.
This clip is also why people are turning off Joy Reid and all of these so-called intellectuals, right? They might have their degrees, their Ivy League degrees. No one wants to hear about white fragility or a safe place or a safe space. Those are just weird garbledy-goop terms that they teach you at Columbia and Harvard and all these schools. White fragility? I have never heard someone use the term white fragility in my day-to-day life, and I've been to all 50 states in this country, okay? I work with a lot of people on TV several times a week. Never heard anyone use the term white fragility in all seriousness. And so it's these folks online who want to live in their like liberal elite Ivy League echo chambers. They're like, white fragility, safe space. You guys are the ones who seem fragile. Joy Reid is the one who's breaking down in tears on camera all the time and crying. She's the one who seems fragile, having meltdowns. You're the problem. So you can talk about, oh, white fragility and this and that. Like I said, you want to focus on race so much. You know who's tired of that? Black people, Indian people, Asian people. Nobody wants to be pitted against each other because of race in this country anymore. They just want to feed their families. They want to have a school to go to where their kids can learn. They want a secure border. They don't want wars around the world. They want clean food without chemicals and toxins. These are the top line issues for Americans. And it's why you saw so many Black people vote for Trump for the first time this year. Young Black men said, you know what? Kamala Harris isn't going to speak to our issues, and we're not just going to vote based on account of skin color. We're going to vote for who we want. But it's these folks like Joy Reid. They think focusing on race and race and race and using terms like white fragility and safe space and all of this, you know, reverse racism, all these garbledy-goop terms is going to help them, and it's not. So we have one last clip. We have one last clip of Joy Reid. Let's look, and then we'll move on.
The people who now no longer have to worry about competition to get into Harvard and Columbia and Yale, or to get the jobs they want, or the military appointments that they want, or the jobs in the Trump administration that they want. They don't have to worry about competition from Black and brown people, because Stephen Miller and Donald Trump and Pete Hegseth from Fox and all the other people who are unqualified for their jobs are deleting all the Blacks and the browns and making sure that they all get deported. And
Does anybody believe this woman? This woman, what reality is she living in? I actually, at this point, I think Joy Reid should be committed. In my opinion, of course, I think Joy Reid needs to be committed. We've been watching her spiral, and I've said this for months. I've said it before she was fired. You can go back on my TikTok, my social media. Joy Reid has been spiraling before our eyes. I think she has a drinking problem. I think she's got some issues with alcohol. Her office is a mess. I don't know why she would have that backdrop on her freaking podcast. It looks horrible. But Joy Reid, she's spiraling, okay? She says they're rounding up Black and brown people at random and it's not safe. No, they're rounding up criminals and people who broke into the country illegally. No other country can you just waltz in illegally, okay, and have things be hunky-dory. Why do we have to accept that here in the United States of America? And Joy Reid, she also wants to perpetuate this narrative And this happens all the time from the left. She wants to perpetuate this narrative. President Trump is racist. President Trump is a racist. Really? He has black and brown people, to use your term, working with him every single day in front of the camera, behind the camera. And people say, oh, President Trump doesn't like gay folks. He has the highest ranking gay member in a cabinet ever in a presidential administration. But here's the thing that bothers Joy Reid. Joy Reid wants that affirmative action. Joy Reid is the type of person, she wants the bar to be lowered for her, and it was lowered for her because she shouldn't have had a TV show. Clearly the bar was lowered for her. But what Joy Reid is really saying is that she's upset President Trump and a lot of these business leaders and folks around the country with their companies are hiring off of merit instead of race, gender, or some type of DEI nonsense. That's what really bothers her. And she doesn't want to articulate that publicly. But what was really bothering her is that people aren't being hired based off of skin color. If a black person happens to be the best person for the job, great, amazing, hire them. President Trump, I could tell you, he doesn't give a rat's ass about the color of your skin. He's like, can you do the job? Can you get things done? So Joy Reid, I think what she's really mad about is sort of this erasure of affirmative action, which we've needed in this country, in DEI, and people who are now hiring based off of merit. But we have to move on to another topic, and that topic is none other than the Titanic. Much like Joy Reid's career, much like Gavin Newsom, much like the left, they've gone down like the Titanic. There are folks who still want to go visit the Titanic shipwreck. You could not pay me. You could offer me billions of dollars. You could offer me $100 billion to go to the bottom of the ocean and see the Titanic shipwreck. I would say no. Number one, because I don't want to leave my house and I don't like being uncomfortable. I don't like being without my creature comforts, and I don't like being without Wi-Fi or cell service. That's my thing. I could never go down in the Titanic submersible because I don't want to be 2 hours without phone service. If you guys invent a submarine with Wi-Fi, maybe I will go see the Titanic. But let me read you. Several years, about 2 years after the Ocean Gate disaster, where that father and son and those people went down to see the Titanic and it imploded, folks are doing it again, okay? The Titanic has remained off limits for 2 years since the reckless Ocean Gate tragedy, which killed 5 people instantly when their subpar submersible imploded as it descended into the deep. We could have had it all. Okay. The current chatter among elite ocean explorers is of an imminent new expedition, but the details are hush-hush. I heard that somebody is going down to the Titanic in a couple of weeks, a source told the New York Post. What I can tell you is that it's a billionaire. Going down there will cost $10 million and you would recognize his name. Now, the source told us that they don't want to spoil the mystery billionaire surprise, adding he'll want to make an announcement that he's the first person to go to the Titanic since the tragedy. Now, part of me thinks, could this be Jeff Bezos, right? Jeff Bezos did Blue Origin. Jeff Bezos had those girls, Katy Perry and Lauren Sanchez and Gayle King, go up into space on a joy ride for about 14 minutes. I know we're not supposed to call it a ride, but he did Blue Origin, which basically looked like a flying phallic structure through the air. So it actually looked like Jeff Bezos. The Blue Origin actually looked like Jeff Bezos with his bald head. But Jeff Bezos, in my opinion, he's an attractive man. And the fact that he has $200 billion makes him a little bit more attractive, because if he stands on his wallet, he's no longer 5'7". But let me tell you, if Jeff Bezos is the one going down to see the Titanic, I think he'll make it out alive. Jeff Bezos is not going to put himself at risk. I want to know what's going to happen, though, because we talked about this with Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez's wedding. That was like a Tupperware convention with all the plastic and silicone and filler and Venice. It was literally a Tupperware convention. All of the Kardashians, you had so much filler and breast augmentations. What's going to happen if he takes Katy Perry and Lauren Sanchez down to the bottom of the ocean? Are their, flotation devices going to explode or implode? What happens at depths with that amount of pressure? Because when you go down to see the Titanic, that is some pressure, okay? That is some pressure. So what's going to happen to all of the surgicalization of the situation? That's what concerns me. So we don't know what's going to happen, but the fact that folks are actually still trying to go down there after that horrific tragedy tells us that money can't buy you intelligence, can't buy you street smarts, okay? It can't buy you common sense. These folks with all this, expendable income, disposable income that want to spend $10 million going down to see the Titanic, go watch the movie. Go watch the movie with Leonardo DiCaprio. Go watch the movie with Kate Winslet. That is my idea of the Titanic, okay? I will stand on the bow of a little boat and sing My Heart Will Go On before I ever get into a submersible and go to the bottom of the ocean to see a shipwrecked vessel that we could find on Google Images. So we wish those people well, but we got to pay some bills, and then we'll be right back. Are you a yo-yo dieter? You diet, lose weight, but gain it all back plus a few extra pounds? Studies show that it can lead to unwanted health issues. Breaking free of your yo-yo diet pattern is a main reason doctors created Lean. Lean is a supplement, not an injection, and you don't need a prescription. Lean's natural ingredients target weight loss in 3 powerful ways. It helps maintain healthy blood sugar, it helps control appetite and cravings, and it helps burn fat by converting it into energy. If you want to lose meaningful weight at a healthy pace, Lean was created for you. Let me get you started with 20% off when you enter LINK20 at takelean.com. That's code LINK, LINK20 at takelean.com. Last but not least, I want to discuss this war that's brewing online between Gavin Newsom's social media team and JD Vance. Okay, JD Vance is busy doing the work of being a vice president. He's meeting with world leaders, with Zelensky, trying to help President Trump get peace around the world. Gavin Newsom and his little bitchy gay queens who run his Twitter, they're busy doing tweets, okay? They're doing tweets trying to compare pictures of Gavin Newsom in high school versus JD Vance. And these tweets have gotten just gazillions of views, 50 million views, 100 million views. And I think it's brought up this conversation also about who do you find more attractive? Because I have had girls message me, conservative girls. I've had prominent conservative women message me and say they find Gavin Newsom attractive and they hate themselves for it. I have women who write me and say they would lay themselves down on the train tracks for JD Vance and those piercing blue eyes, okay? I'm here to tell you, I'm more of a JD Vance person. I don't find Gavin Newsom interesting at all. I've met him, I've interacted with him briefly in California. Here to tell you, the man is like something out of True Blood. He's a vampire and not in a good way, okay? I know some of y'all want to get sucked, but he's not a vampire in a good way, okay? Gavin Newsom, he will suck your blood and leave you dry. But Gavin Newsom, they're comparing these pictures of him in high school to JD Vance. I'm here to tell you, I don't want a man who peaked in high school and looks like he's out of a Calvin Klein ad. I would rather have the guy who had a little bit of extra meat on his bones in high school, who was a little bit nerdy, who maybe did some of the theater, who did the shows, who was in the science club. I want that guy to be in charge of the country, not someone with like scarves and being real fashionable, hipster California guy. That's not interesting to me. Also, if we want to compare Gavin Newsom's upbringing to JD Vance's, JD Vance pulled himself up out of nothing, okay? Out of addiction in his family and trouble and strife and turmoil, as we saw in Hillbilly Elegy, and he went to go serve the country as a United States Marine. What has Gavin Newsom done except go to Napa Valley fundraisers and have dinners at Michelin star restaurants like French Laundry? So Gavin Newsom, you are the joke. And the fact that your team is trying to compare you to JD Vance, there is no comparison. While Newsom cozies up to drag queens, JD Vance is fighting for our country. And therein lies the dichotomy between the left. They're focused on being cool and being awesome and looking awesome and wearing these fabulous outfits and getting viral tweets, while folks on the right are actually busy trying to get things done. And so I would trust the country much more with JD Vance than I would with Gavin Newsom. I also feel like Gavin Newsom is going to be the first one to fold to the special interest. We've seen that time and time again. Gavin Newsom is best buddies with Alex Soros. This is who he wants to hang out with. I believe, I could be wrong on this, but I believe Gavin Newsom also went to Alex Soros' wedding to Huma Abedin in New York on Long Island with, the Clintons and everybody. This is Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newsom, make no mistake, is an elite. So he might have cheekbones and a jawline and, good Botox, but I'm going to take JD Vance a million times over. And I know all the girls, most of the girls with common sense who, touch grass regularly, they like JD Vance. I'm here to tell you. If I had to pick and go through one door, Gavin Newsom or JD Vance, I'm going through the JD Vance door because I would trust JD Vance with my life. Actually, I wouldn't trust anybody completely with my life. But no, I would trust JD Vance much more than Gavin Newsom to get things done. But there have also been conversations about who is writing Gavin Newsom's tweets. The fact that we're having that conversation shows us how ridiculous the left has become. That Gavin Newsom is more focused on going viral on X than actually cleaning up his state where they're building bridges to nowhere. They're spending gazillions of dollars building bridges that go nowhere. There are homeless encampments all over Los Angeles, all over California. Gavin Newsom, he only cleans up California when President Xi comes to visit. Remember, Gavin Newsom didn't want to clean up California until the president of China was coming. What about cleaning up California for the taxpayers? What about doing that? So California, we wish you well. Gavin Newsom, we also wish you well. This is also an interesting fact I did not know. Gavin Newsom is 57, grew up in San Francisco, California. JD Vance is 41 and grew up in Middletown, Ohio. I would, or maybe Middleton, Ohio. I apologize. Half my family's from Ohio. I should know these things. Oh no. Maybe I should call my cousins if some of them weren't so liberal. But no, let me tell you. Gavin Newsom, I didn't know he's 57 years old. JD Vance is 41. JD Vance is young. JD Vance is young. He has a long runway to ascend in presidential politics. Gavin Newsom, I don't see it. I don't even think Gavin Newsom can make it out of a primary, in my opinion, because once you apply pressure to Gavin Newsom, he folds, he shakes, his eyes get bloodshot, he's nervous. And Gavin Newsom also has terrible judgment. Gavin Newsom, right, will shut down his state and then go get photographed at a fancy Michelin star dinner, right? While people are overtaking freeways because of the ICE raids in California and burning and bombing out cars, he's at a Napa Valley fundraiser. That's who Gavin Newsom is. And so you can't teach good decision-making. It's something you either inherently have and it's common sense that you're born with. You can teach someone to become more savvy in politics and how to maneuver in politics. But at the end of the day, if you don't have good decision-making, I don't know what's going to happen to you. So no, Gavin Newsom, I think, is a snake oil salesman and a grifter. And I don't know if all that hair gel is seeping in. I don't know if all the Botox is seeping in allegedly, but I wouldn't trust Gavin Newsom. And the last thing I will say, one of the big differences between Gavin Newsom and JD Vance is that JD Vance refers to Usha Vance as his wife. He loves his wife. He loves his kids. Gavin Newsom refers to his wife as the first partner or the first spouse of California. Are we playing pickleball? Are we playing pickleball? Like, what is this partner BS? Okay, she's given you multiple kids and she can't even get upgraded to wife? Mother of my children. She's like, oh, this is my first partner. Gavin Newsom, do you play for my team, sir? What's going on with that? I don't even want to be called partner. Okay, I don't want to be called partner. I'm either a boyfriend or I'm a husband. Okay, I'm not going to be partner. All of this. I'm not opening a law firm, not playing pickleball. Do not call me your partner. So the second Gavin Newsom, as a man, allegedly called his wife the first partner of California, that's when I knew he was done. That's when I knew that man was done. So no, Gavin Newsom, we wish you well. And as for you guys, thank you so much for tuning in to Spot On with Link Lauren. As I said, I'm running on fumes here, but the episodes when I'm tired and fighting for my life, they actually end up being great. So thank you so much for sharing. Thanks for sending the show to your friends. Thank you for commenting. I can't wait to read your horrible travel stories. I'll also be back on Friday. We're going to discuss Barack Obama's presidential library on YouTube. It looks pretty terrible to me. So we're going to be discussing that on Friday on our Friday spot because we didn't have time to get into some of those stories. We'll also be doing an Ask Link. I'll be giving some life advice because even though I'm an expert on nothing, I have opinions on everything. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. I love you. Kiss your loved ones and enjoy the rest of your summer if you can. I don't know where the summer went because I was working the whole time. So I was either working or stuck at the Chicago airport. So I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.